It is Tuesday, July 15th, and it is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. SP3, you don't have a headline today. What's going on? What's happening here?
I'm kind of tired from the weekend. I
Why?
literally,
What happened this
I
weekend?
I literally like passed out. Like I couldn't even. In the episode of Raw was good last night, but like right before the Gauntlet, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this in the morning. I went to sleep. I was like,
Wow, a
I've hit
Joel
my.
Pearl move out here.
I think
Sleeping before Raw ends.
I reached my wrestling limit for the last couple of days, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to sleep. What I should have done after All In on Saturday instead of watching whatever Saturday night's main event was supposed to be. So yeah,
You watched Saturday night's main event after All In ended?
yeah, that was not a
Oh.
good move. I hated
you
that
can't do
show.
that.
I hated that show a lot more than I would have if I would have just waited till the next morning to watch it.
That's like having like a nice 5-course meal, you know, in the as your lunch and your dinner. You get a 5-course meal because the show started at like 3. You get a 5-course meal for lunch and dinner, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna cap off my night with just a shit sandwich. That's what I'm gonna cap off my night with.
Big old shit sandwich. How about it?
Yeah, that was a mistake, SV3. You can't do that. You can't do that.
This is why we do things. You live and you learn from your mistakes. And my mistake is ever watching good wrestling before Saturday night's main event, because they literally have not had a good Saturday night's main event since like January. And I think I'm being generous with the January one only because Gunther versus Jey Uso was good, but the last 2 Saturday night's main events have been a waste of time.
I thought Goldberg and Gunther was as good as you're gonna get. That's my praise for it.
Yes, which means that it was just a fine match. It was just a fine match that any other time would just be a random TV match, but because it was Goldberg and the aura of Goldberg, it was better than you expected. I'll give it that.
Guys, leave a thumbs up on the video. That helps us out. We are here 5 days a week here on In the Weeds. Monday through Friday, every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's myself and SP3. All right, I gotta shut up so the fireworks will play. Maybe, hopefully.
Go ahead.
We'll see.
Go off.
All
Just
the pie.
keep
There
putting
we
it up.
go.
There we go.
It's myself and Joel or myself and SP3 every single weekday here on this channel. Subscribe to the channel. We got clips going up. We got not that clips, but that's still a great album. We got.
I listened to it.
Oh, it's so good. I can't stop listening to it. I made my wife listen to it. You know, she's not the biggest rap fan, but we were driving around yesterday and I had it on because that's all I listened to. And yeah, I made her listen to it. And as far as like rap goes, she tolerated it. I don't know if she liked it, but she tolerated it. She liked Kendrick's verse.
She tolerated it.
Yeah, she liked Kendrick's verse because I think she's like a Kendrick fan more than she'll let on, and she likes hate. So like I made her like really pay attention to Kendrick's verse. I was like, if you like hate rap, Pusha T, all of his bars are just hate rap. Listen to how disgusted this man is with the state of things. He hates everything.
It feels like a logical sequel to GNX. Like I can listen to GNX right into the new Clips album. I think they coincide with each other very well.
Yeah, she says I like Kendrick. I didn't think that was hidden. Yeah, she likes. I think it's hidden because she likes the diss part of Kendrick. I don't know how much other Kendrick she actually likes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you see, this is why I will say once again, like I say on nearly every episode nowadays, don't listen to Zeno Hour. Just because he's a top weed doesn't mean that he has good opinions. He said I like the one in May. What was the one in May had? John Cena versus R-Truth in a 5-minute slog? And Jey Uso and Logan Paul that had more commercials than the actual time in the ring? That was the one where the commercials started to get egregious So the fact that you like that one means that your opinion sucks. You can, and everyone's entitled to an opinion, but that doesn't mean that your opinion doesn't suck. You're entitled to it, but it can still suck.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, the Jey Uso Gunther match was good. John Cena.
That was January. That was January. You're talking about the May one. May one was Jey Uso versus Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, that one. That was hilarious. John Cena and R-Truth was a hilarious match, though. That was, I found humor in that. Yeah, Saturday Night's Main Event hasn't been the best.
It hasn't been good. It hasn't been good since January.
But there's only
the first one. The first one was good. I was there for the first one. That first one.
Okay,
was
but
good.
it hasn't been January. Like, there's only been one episode. I mean, 2 episodes now.
Yeah, since January. The last 2 have sucked. May is the one where everybody complained that it was more commercials than actual in-ring time, which is absolutely a valid criticism of that show. But I would even give that show a mid. It's a mid. It's a thumbs in the middle. This one, objectively, was thumbs down. It was not good. There was no matches that's worth your time. I told everybody, I did a review yesterday. Shout out to Amanda Savage, who did the first part with me on Evolution. I told her, you don't have to waste your time with Saturday Night's Main Event. I'll do this. I'll do the bid on True Hill Heat for everybody. You don't have to go through reliving this show, because I told everybody, if you didn't watch the show, I'm going to tell you what happened, and you don't need to waste your time. They did an angle with a singer to set up SummerSlam. They did another Bloodline lore matchup that wasn't as good as all the other Bloodline lore matches. They did an angle for Evolution the day after. They did Seth Rollins gets injured match, and they did Goldberg's retirement.
Well, I don't think it was their fault that Seth Rollins. I mean, depending on who you believe, the Seth Rollins gets
exactly. Depending on who you believe, that was the show.
Was or wasn't their fault. We got a guest. He's as we're scheduled to air our interview with Alex Hammerstone at some point today. I was gonna say between 10:30 and 10:45, but Cam Hawkins is here, and Cam Hawkins might be here for an hour. He might be here for 2 hours. You never know with Cam. So we'll air the interview at some point. But first, before we get into the interview, how you doing, Cam?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Okay, what is it?
As soon as you said Cam Hawkins is here, I know exactly why he's here.
What happened here?
Somebody didn't show up. What you mean, what happened?
Somebody didn't get told he got media credentials until a week before, and he's in the UK.
I said he's in the UK. What do you mean?
That's what I said when I saw the paper.
How about they let me know with more than a month? They need to let me know a month out so I can make travel arrangements. Like
100%. Like you are making a real trip. You got family that has to be set up. Like yeah. I don't know. Let me tell some funny jokes, but you know.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious when you tagged me on that.
Ooh.
I saw that and I was like, did they mistakenly call Cam SP3? Like what?
That would be funny.
What's going on here?
Man.
It's like there's only like 3 or 4, y'all. So you know.
Yeah, that's right. I'm nice to see you guys always.
Nice to see you.
How was your trip?
I'm just exhausted still.
Yeah.
I am. Ugh. A lot of fun, a lot of good wrestling moments. Way too many parties, way too late. Yeah, I think 2 nights. One night, shout out to Haley over at Vice. Shout out to who was she with? She was with Kylie. She was with
that sounds right.
Auntie Collins. We were at the hotel. We were listening to Phil Collins until 3 a.m. in the hotel lobby, just kicking it, just like chopping it up. That was a good time. And then Sunday night, me, Phil, Reg, Brian Zillum, my homegirl Dez, we stayed up till 5 a.m. talking. Like, if we had hit the record button, it would have been the best wrestling media and the things that surrounded conversation ever. We agreed not to hit the record button because it was the best wrestling media and things surrounding it conversation ever. So there's some things that just can't, that need to stay in a room.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hung out till like 5, and then we went to Starcast a couple of days, which was really, really fun, getting to see everybody. We went to the karaoke night, was really fun with AEW. Everybody was there hanging out, kicking it. Went to Ring of Honor, great show. Had media day. So the arena that Ring of Honor was in is basically attached to the Starcast Hotel, attached to the Sheridan, but you got to walk through this part and that part, whatever. So it's me, it's Lyric, it's Grapsody, it's Malcolm, Sean's there, Denise is there, Emily May's there, but pretty much who you'd expect, right? Man, I said we were on the way. Of course, Brian was there with me. We were on the way. I said, Brian, man, let's stop by Walgreens and grab a deck of Uno cards just to do something different. And so, like, me, Mark Briscoe, Tony Storm, we played Uno. Brian played with Kyle Fletcher. I told MVP, I was like, P, you're not going to play me on camera. Are we playing or are we not playing? He said, we're not playing. Let's take it serious. I said, okay, great. Big Boom AJ, who, bless his heart, sweet guy, wasn't really interested in interviewing him. He strong-armed his way into an interview. And it was great. It was fantastic.
What do you mean you weren't interested in interviewing Big Boom?
It's just, I wasn't in that mode. But it turned out great, and he was fantastic.
I'm offended now.
If the Rizzler was there, we would have definitely kicked it. But
you could ask him about the Rizzler. You would have given the Rizzler a bunch of booms, and
we
the whole interview.
did the boom. We boomed. I think we did a triple boom. Yeah, it was. He was great. He was fantastic. We talked about how that whole process came about. Starting like the first time you did it in Costco versus what it is now. That was really cool. But yeah, man, that was a fun time. We went to Swerve's show with TZ Friday night. And I had some friends from Dallas come through to that, so that was cool. And then of course, the day of, I was in the press box, but I was also ringside or third row. I say ringside. But we were right there up close. Me and my man Greg. So it's a lot of back and forth, just walking through the arena, like seeing people that people that know you, and shaking hands and taking pictures, and that was really cool. And then the show was also very good, even though it was 8 hours. Like really 8 hours.
Yeah.
Like for real, 8 hours.
Do shift.
Yeah, it was a shift, exactly. But it was a blast, man. I thought they absolutely killed it. I think the one regret I have is that I couldn't watch the main event from ringside. Because at that time it's time to get back to the press box and get walked down and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. I took the day off yesterday. And of course this morning my first student didn't even show, so I could have got an extra 3-4 hours of sleep preparing. But yeah, man, that was who said 6 hours? No, I'm telling you,
the main card was 6 hours. He had to be there for the pre-show and everything.
Yeah. Don't do that. But yeah, it was a really, really good time. They had a hell of a weekend, just top to bottom. They really, really did. It was I think I might have told Joe this, but we were supposed to interview Omega on Wednesday. Ended up not being able to do it. So they said, Danny was like, well, he said he could do Thursday, but I told him that wouldn't be enough time. I was like, why wouldn't it be enough time? We're going to do this. So we talked to him at like 11 a.m. And we got on the road, and it's a 3-hour drive. I wrote the entire trip. When we got to the hotel, I told him, give me an hour to punch it up, and then we got it. And I think it turned out pretty good, man. He was a great conversation. He's really, really thoughtful. He cares about how all this is working out. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
It came out on Friday night, right?
Friday Afternoon. Yeah.
Afternoon. Yeah, I think I saw it at like Friday at maybe 5 or 6. I saw it come across my timeline, and I ended up running something from it. But yeah, it was really good. Anytime I've listened to a Kenny Omega interview or read an interview, the insight and the thoughtfulness, like you mentioned, is 100% there. Like it comes across.
It was really cool, man. That's that is. I can't help being old, but I much prefer that trip to the Mania trip. I mean, part of that is probably me, Dallas, one, not being far, and me being able to like call friends outside of wrestling and say, hey, let's go get lunch, or let's go, do stuff. Like it is more personal, that city. But I mean, like after the show, after the press conference, there's Texas Live right next to the stadium, which is like where they do like the the pre-event concerts and post-event concerts and all that, and everybody was hanging out there, and it was really, really sweet. So I have a buddy of mine and his wife who live here in Austin, who I met during South by Southwest at the West Side Glen show. So Gunn is there, and they're wearing like all their Fourth Rope merch, and he had like waved at him earlier in the show, like when he came out to perform, because he saw him in their merch, and they were like, man, like, Gunn, that's so cool. I was like, Gunn, can you come say hi to my friends? And he talked to him for like 10 minutes, and it made their whole trip. So it was nice. It was just a good feeling with everything all the way around. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I never want to do any of it again.
Until next time.
Until WrestleMania season.
I had to force myself to watch Raw last night. Like, oh, and let me say this. So we, AEW has this amazing weekend. I remember as I'm hanging out till 5 a.m. Sunday that I'm hosting an Evolution watch party at 5 p.m. Right? So we make it back down the road. What a great way to end the weekend, because that was a fantastic show. So good. They, for something that we all criticize for a lack of build, a lack of attention, a lack of preparation. Boy, did they kill it. It was just, the tributes were great. The wrestling was great. Just a really, 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 and the disconnect between what we do and what the world sees, because like the pop that Vicky Guerrero got both in the building and at the watch parties, and if you were in the field, it was just like,
yeah, exactly. I was like, these people. I said this yesterday on the Wrestle Talk podcast. I was like, these people don't read the internet, do they?
No.
They're living their best life, man. Yeah.
No, I said it. It was the best WWE PLE of the year.
I think you're right. I don't know what would. I
think the only one that comes close is Elimination Chamber, but they're boosted up by the John Cena heel turn.
I thought the Rumble was good. I
thought the Rumble was good as well. I think mainly because of the Rumble having a surprise winner and KO and Cody. But other than that, I think that Chamber was better than the Rumble, and I think Evolution is on par with Chamber as far as the best WWE show.
Yeah, salute to it's salute to Raquel, who seemed to take advice in the moment about wrestling big and wrestle big, and then Roxanne is just I hope that she is not relegated because of how good she is. Because boy, they were hitting her with everything left and right, because she can take it, she can make it look good. I hope that she's not pigeonholed into that spot in making everybody else look good, because she's very good. I think it was funny last night. They were talking about Io Sky's claim to best wrestler on the planet. I don't know if she is, but she definitely is in that conversation. She was amazing Sunday night. Just a story they're telling. Not only like when they say, this person has never beaten this person one-on-one. And it's like, okay, great. But she wrestled it like everything you try, I have something for, and that's why you haven't beat me. It was really, really good. And then Naomi just being this deep in the game, coming up with something new. It it lessens what John Cena is trying to do in being career-long babyface, going heel, and making it matter. She's doing a much better job of that.
This is by far the best heel turn in WWE this year. Like they blew it on the New Day, they've blown it on John Cena, but Naomi has taken
Becky.
I mean, Becky, this is just more of
She's
what we saw in 2022. Okay. Yeah. This is like New Day. They went they went like 5-6 years being babyface before they did their heel turn. John Cena went 20 years before being a heel turn. Naomi's been a babyface her entire pretty much WWE run, other than a couple of months in 2015 with Team Bad. This is the best one to me. And I think even better than Becky. I think Becky is great at what she does, and she's the GOAT. She's always going to be the GOAT. Thank you for the plug. I always appreciate it. I am the sports.
That's what I was setting you up for. I agreed with you that it's Naomi, but I got to set you up there.
I know. I always have. Thank you. I always have to put it down when that's up there for me. But Naomi, I think she's become the best character in the women's division and arguably the best character in all of WWE. And this was kind of like her reward for all the hard work with promos, with the character change. Even her music I've embraced, where I just like it now. Like at first, when she first came out with the music at WrestleMania, I was like, I'm not feeling this. Now it just goes with her character. It feels unhinged. It works with her, and it's something different from what we've gotten from her. And you brought up the tag team title match. I'm going to go on record here because you know me, Jeremy. I've been on record here and I've been complaining about her ever since she came back at the Royal Rumble. But man, Charlotte Flair's not washed. Congratulations. It was great. It was great to see. I've been saying she got Tetsuya Naito knees for months, and she finally showed up and showed out. That was the best she's looked since her return.
She might have been on that icy hot, man, but them big boots were still hitting, man. Yeah.
The greatest move in all of wrestling.
Her and Alexa work well together. Like it's odd couple the right way. Even like the way they came out was really good. It just listen, man. That was just a really, really, really good show. That was fun, man. But yeah, hey, thank you for having me. Talk about wrestling more, I guess.
We're gonna talk about Summer League here in a second.
Oh God! Shout out to the Spurs, baby! Shout out to we have game winners in Summer League, baby! Oh man, no sports, no talking, nothing. I'm gonna talk to these kids. I'm gonna get them in college.
Enjoy.
I'm apparently driving back down the road to San Antonio for a while. I just want to sleep, but sleep's not always an option. So guys,
can't do that.
Have a great one. Thank you as always. We'll catch up.
Thanks, man. There you go. Cam Hawkins, everybody. He had a busy weekend. Busy, man. I saw his Omega feature drop in the evening on Friday because I don't think he teased it. Maybe he teased it. He teased it through Joel. That sounds weird. But Joel let me know that something was coming and that Cam might be showing up on Friday's show. And then Cam wasn't on Friday's show. But I knew something was coming from Cam on Friday. When I saw his Omega feature, I was like, oh, okay. That's good. And yeah, Kenny just gives super insightful answers. Like you hear him talk. I hate transcribing him because I'm like, can you just like give a short answer so I can stop typing? But he gives very long, like insightful answers, and like it's good. But as a transcriptionist, big in the transcription community, I hate it. It's like just stop it. Stop.
It's him and Darius Carter. They know how to give an answer.
Darius Carter gives very long. Paul Heyman is like the worst. Because he not only gives, like, long answers, he uses, like, big words, and he always repeats. Like, he gives the full name. Listen to any Paul Heyman interview. Full name every single time. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Braun Breaker. It's never Braun. It's never Roman. It's full name. It's full name of the event. The man is always in, like, promoting mode while doing his answer. And, like, I hate it. I absolutely hate Paul Heyman interviews. I'm like, oh, my God, this man is going to talk. And, like, he's going to use big words like pontificate. And I'm not good at thinking of big words, but Paul Heyman uses them. And he speaks fast as it is. Like, even when I'm listening, like, I listen on higher speed. But even, like, a normal Paul Heyman speed is still speaking relatively fast. I'm like, oh. Heyman is the one I probably dread the most when I'm transcribing. I was like, oh yeah, Gonna listen to a Heyman interview. This is gonna suck. This is gonna take me way too long. Oh, there you go. All right, let's run the Hammerstone interview now. Well, real quickly, have you watched any Summer League? Have you kept up with it? Have you seen Brawny?
I seen a little bit of Brawny in Summer League. I saw some highlights of Cooper Flag in Summer League. So, hey,
where are you at? Where are you at on LeBron?
What do you mean?
I mean, you ready to move on? You've been ready to move on since he signed, so that's not a very fair question.
Whoa! I have not been ready to move on since he signed. He came to my team because I had years of just clowning him and throwing shade on his name and not giving him credit for stuff. And he came to my team as a kind of like asking for forgiveness. And I let him in to the Aloe halls of where the house that Kobe built, formerly known as Staples Center. So me and LeBron are cool, but I mean, hey, I said it. I think I said it last week. I'll say it here again. If we can get Darius Garland or Jared Allen for LeBron to go back home, sign me up.
It's a better team with Garland and Allen over just LeBron at this stage of his career. Because you already have Luka. Garland takes the secondary ball handling duties that LeBron would have. Allen is like a perfect rim runner and defensive player next to Luka. The defense would still be a little questionable because Garland's not a great defender, but overall
Allen is.
Yeah, he's a good rim protector, but like your point of attack defense still isn't great. Like Luka and Garland as your
perimeter
point of attack,
defense would not be good.
Yeah, so it's better though with those two because LeBron and Luka are just kind of similar. LeBron's not going to move off ball. Luka's not going to move off ball. It's
two guys who are elite passers and elite scorers. There's only maybe like 3 or 4 of them in the NBA, and we got both of them. Do we really need both of them? Not really.
It's very funny how the narrative has shifted from who's gonna beat LeBron and Luka, Lakers in 5, to can they trade LeBron? Can they move LeBron to make their team better? Like, when did that happen? What happened? Besides Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert.
It's too. No, it's not even. I wasn't even going to say that. It was the Mark Williams not passing his physical, because that was the team. I think that was the team that most of us Laker fans were like convinced we can make it far. We can make it to the conference final. Then he doesn't pass his physical, and we still look good. And we just have that bravado that we were just like, hey, we're still gonna go. Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5. But we realized that whole series against Minnesota was, hey, you guys need a center. You guys need a center. We got punched in the mouth. We had no rim protection, and our perimeter defense is already bad. You need a center. You need a better team. And yes, we have a center, but is it the center that's going to be necessary for us to go far with Luka Doncic?
Let's make it clear. Mark Williams didn't fail his physical. The Lakers failed him on his physical. He still played games after the trade deadline. The Lakers decided his physical wasn't good enough.
He failed his physical.
Okay.
Failed his physical.
They could have made the trade. The trade still could have gone through. They decided
he failed his physical.
They didn't want him. All right.
Hey, you put out a physical for what you were looking for from your team, and if he doesn't pass it, it's not, oh, they failed him. He failed the physical.
Zeno R says LeBron for Paul George. Who says no? Oof.
Everyone. That's what says no. And this is why I said Zeno Howard does not have good takes. It's just jokes. It's like Jeremy for the chat. That's what it is. It's just jokes and wild takes.
Yeah, LeBron for Paul George is a rough one. That's
awful.
That's tough.
That's awful. Yeah. That's the one person I would say, nope. That's a big nope. Nope.
Did you see the Bleacher Report list?
What, possible trades for LeBron?
No. The top 100 NBA players.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't see Bleacher Report. I saw Ringers. What was
Ringer.
Bleacher?
Ringer did one as well.
Yeah, the Ringer did one before Bleacher Report. The Ringer came out a couple of weeks ago.
Top 100 of all time or top 100 today?
Oh no, they did top 100 of today. You're talking about top 100 all time?
Yeah, Bleacher Report did top 100 of all time. All right, I'm gonna give you. You're gonna have a complaint about one. I have a complaint about another.
Oh, okay.
Kobe. Where do you think Kobe ranked?
They're disrespectful to Kobe, so I'm gonna say 9.
Oof. Ooh. You're not. Disrespecting.
I'm actually
disrespecting the disrespect enough.
They 11. Are that
11.
Bye, guys.
SP3's gone. I didn't do anything. I brought it to his attention, I guess. Kobe was number 11. I was going to tell him I agree with you, Zeno Hour. Being the chairman of the live chat is an honor. That's why you're the top weed. I rigged the voting in your favor. I was going to give him the top 100 or the top 10 and see where he fell with this. But I don't know if SP3's coming back. He might just be done with the show. Oh, he's back. All right. Do you want to know the 10 players ranked ahead of Kobe? Oh, your mic's got to catch up.
Go ahead.
All right. Steph Curry. Wilt. Larry Bird.
Okay.
Tim Duncan, which is fact.
Oh my god. This is bullshit. Okay.
Shaq. Bill Russell. Magic. Kareem. LeBron and Jordan.
I have no words. Bleacher Report, you will pay for your crimes.
Fair.
You will pay for your crimes.
So here's
has there been a lot of heat on them for that?
Oh yeah. They are like
okay.
Everyone is like, what? So here's my complaint about it. Shea is not on the list. Which fine. If you don't think Shea is a top 100 player of all time, okay. Like, maybe I can understand it. I don't know. Like, it's a little iffy to me. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably a top 100 player of all time. But when you do name 100 players, then you open yourself up for the criticism of it. So, again, you don't think he's top 100 player of all time. Fine. Whatever. But here's the names they did put in the top 100 players of all time. At number 83, Jimmy Butler. At number, where is he at? 78, Paul George. At number 66, Joel Embiid. And at number 64, Damian Lillard.
Wow.
If you're going to say Shea is not a top 100 player of all time, again, fine. But you can't put 4 guys who have less accomplishments in their entire career than Shea has in one season ahead of them. Because what are we basing it off of then? What makes Damian Lillard a better player all time than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? Longevity? That's it, right? What has he done that is better than what Shea has done in one season? That's it. It's longevity. And Jose says it's because they've played longer than Shea. Okay. But that's still stupid. Look at what he's accomplished in one season. Luka's on the list, by the way. Luka hasn't played as long as Shea. So why is Luka on the list?
What number is Luka?
Luka's 57. So he's ahead of all those guys.
Wow.
So Why is Luka on the list and Shea's not on the list if it's longevity? Luka's ahead of all those guys. Look, do I think
Luka is first team All NBA 5 years in a row before the age of 25. Like, that's no one else has done that. Not even LeBron.
Like that's fine. I don't have an issue with Luka being on the list. I don't have an issue if you think Luka is a better player than Shea. I would have said the same thing going into this season. But look at accomplishments. All right, 5-time All-NBA. All right, that's good. Where's his championship? Where's his finals MVP? Shea's got those. Where's his MVP? Shea's got
maybe the list was made before the end of the NBA finals. And they just released it after the season.
They should have updated it.
I'm trying to figure out something for you and your end because I can't. I'm like my brain is not even trying to figure out how these people were ahead of Kobe Bryant. My brain is trying to figure out how I can send hate mail to Bleacher Report. How I could tag Bleacher Report for the next 100 days. No, for the next 11 days. Because Kobe Bryant is at 11? The disrespect. Like, this is a consensus thing that Kobe Bryant is a top 10 player. And I'll take that type of disrespect. Top 10 player. To me, he's top 5. Top 5. The first 6 people that you told me, I was like, Kobe's better than him. Kobe's better than him. Kobe's better than him. Kobe's better than him. The only one when you got into the Magic, the Kareem, the LeBron, and Jordan, those are the ones I'm willing to give you. He's just as good as Tim Duncan, and I can make the case he's better than Tim Duncan. He's definitely better than Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, yes, he was in his prime, and he was winning NBA Finals MVP, but as a Laker fan that watched the three-peat, Shaq did not deserve all 3 of those NBA Finals MVP, and Kobe definitely deserved one of them. So, I'm so upset right now. You ruined my day. You ruined my day telling me that list.
I'm sorry. We should find some hate mail for them. Paula sends a super chat that says Vanilla Fumble.
I'm Vanilla, baby.
Is what we call Bleacher Report. Which
Tim Duncan, 100% top 10 player all time. Just not above Kobe Bryant. What are we doing?
Boycott. What are you talking about with Shea? What are we talking about? He was injured earlier in his career. They shut him down during the tanking seasons because, well, they were tanking.
And he's too good.
Are you trying to make like he's an injury-prone player? Because look at the last 3 seasons. He hasn't missed any games the last 3 seasons. Maybe he's missed a handful, but in the last 3 seasons, I would venture to guess Shea's missed less than 20 games in these last 3 seasons. Let's see. He played 76, 75, 68. Those were his last 3 seasons. He played 82 his rookie year. He played 70 his first season in OKC, which I think was every game because that was the shortened season with COVID. And then in the tanking seasons, he played 35 and 56 because they were like, oh, you have a minor injury? Maybe we shouldn't play you in these meaningless games as we try to get better draft picks. What is the... And Joel Embiid's in the list. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
What are we talking about? Injuries.
Now Boycott saying Kobe has won MVP, by the way. So does Shaq! Shaq has one MVP. What are we talking about?
And like,
what you're gonna say? You're gonna say, well, everybody in the top 10 has multiple MVPs. Shaq don't. Shaq has one.
Y'all need to calm down on Shea. I literally said I don't care if you don't have him in the top 100. That's fine. It's your own list. But then I got to look at the people you do have in the top 100. And I can say up against those guys, why isn't Shea ahead of them? This isn't even let's boost up Shea. This is how are you going to rank those guys ahead of him? You want to give me 100 players better than Shea? Go for it. Knock yourself out. But then you open yourself up to, why is that guy better than Shea? Why is Damian Lillard better than Shea? What has Damian Lillard accomplished in his whole career that tops what Shea has done? Because it goes like that. He waved bye to OKC in a first round game. That's your big Damian Lillard accomplishments around here. Finals MVP, scoring champion, finals. Name how many players have done that in the same season in history. It's a very short list. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is on that list. You can't say...
It's Shaq and Michael Jordan.
Yes. What's my criteria? I don't know what my criteria is.
Yeah, you're saying I'm not arguing. I'm going by your criteria. We didn't come up with MVPs. Yeah. You brought up MVP, sir. That's not our criteria. You brought up MVPs, not us.
Yeah, I don't know what the criteria is here. Maybe that was directed more towards you than towards me, because my criteria. I
didn't say a criteria.
I didn't think so either.
Said a criteria.
Yeah. My criteria is one guy has more accomplishments in one season than some guys have in their entire careers, and for some reason those guys are listed ahead of Shea. Zeno was asking where Embiid was. I mentioned Embiid. Iverson was 36. See, like the Iverson and the McGrady was 59. And if you want to say these guys are better than
ahead of McGrady already,
yeah, like I don't know. The nostalgia is like a motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Because McGrady, that's another player where it's like, all right, his accomplishments are a most improved player. That award's dumb. 7 times All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, 2-time scoring champion. It's a good list of accomplishments.
Yeah.
Is it better than Finals MVP?
Boycott, accomplishments, literally a couple of comments above you is delayed grads. Thank you so much. Kobe Bryant, 5-time NBA champion, 1-time league MVP, 2-time finals MVP, 18 All-Stars, 15 All-NBA, 12-time All-Defense, 2-time scoring champion. You can't pick and choose what accomplishments you want to highlight. Say all the accomplishment. That if I said or Jeremy said accomplishment, name all the accomplishments and not just one or two of them.
If you want to say McGrady is better than Shea, all right. I'm a big Tracy.
Yeah, I think Shea at this point you can at least you have a case for 90 through 100 for him. At least at
90 to 100.
Yeah, I would throw him in there. At the very least, you put him in there. You put him in that range. I mean, I'm saying at the very least, that's the least that you can do with what he accomplished in this season. I think he's much higher. I think he's a top 60 player.
Okay. Jokic is number 17, by the way.
What? You know what? I think I actually was putting together a list of my all-time list. Let's see how mine's compare to Bleacher Report.
Who is injury prone? Boycott Activision.
I think he's talking about T-Mac. I think he's on delay. He's talking about T-Mac.
All right, you gotta.
So my top 10 is well, I was kind of disrespectful to one person, but.
How about Tim Duncan?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Number 1, Michael Jordan. Number 2, LeBron James. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 4, Magic Johnson. Number 5, Kobe Bean Bryant. Number 6, Larry Bird. Number 7, Tim Duncan. Number 8, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 9, Bill Russell. Number 10, Steph Curry. That's my top 10.
Okay. All right.
Now 11, did 11 through 10. I went 11, Wilt Chamberlain, 12, Kevin Durant, 13, Hakeem Olajuwon, 14, Big O. 15, Dirk Nowitzki. 16, Kevin Durant. Kevin Garnett. 17, Dr. J. 18, Charles Barkley. 19, Jerry West. 20, Karl Malone.
Okay. I'd have to like sit with it for a second and see it out in front of me to understand.
I don't have Jokic until like 24. I have Jokic 24, Giannis 25.
Where did they put Giannis? Giannis is 24.
See, okay. They got that right. They got that right, but they disrespected Kobe.
They have Charles Barkley 25.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Oh, Anthony Davis made the list. That one annoyed me. Anthony Davis, they put him at 45. Yeah.
Mad Lakers up on here. All the Lakers. We need all the Lakers. All the Lakers in here.
Let's get into our interview with Alex Hammerstone.
Wait, he said multiple people in the top 10 have more accomplishment. Delayed grads once again. Telling you, Will Chamberlain, 2-time NBA champion, 4-time MVP, 1-time Finals MVP, 10-time All-NBA, 13-time All-Star, 7-time scoring champion, 2-time All-Defense, and NBA Rookie of the Year. Only his Rookie of the Year and MVPs is more than Kobe Bryant. That's it. Everything else, Kobe exceeds him. So what are we talking about here? You're ridiculous. You're not even boycott Activision. If you're gonna try to debate us, at least use Google. Google's your friend. You got time. We're gonna play the Hammerstone interview, and you can come up to Google and actually figure out how many people in the top 10 have more accomplishment than Kobe Bryant. Don't be disrespectful.
I just love the delayed grats. We about to boycott you and boycott Activision. No, I think Anthony Davis is a top 100 player of all time. I'm actually fine with that. I have no issue with it. I'm forever gonna probably be like an Anthony Davis hater and think he's a little overrated by most fans, but I recognize how good he was, especially on that bubble team where he turned into Klay Thompson for a handful of games. Yeah, I know Anthony Davis is a great player. I don't have a problem with him being in the top 100. I don't have a problem if you want to put him over Shea. Fine. Like Paul George over Shea Gilgeous. What are we doing? What?
This was not made by a real person.
This tells me if you know ball. It's a very simple answer. Do you think Damian Lillard and Paul George are better than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? And if your answer is yes, you don't know ball. You don't. There's no world where those two players are better than Shea. No world. You know, at their peak, they're not better. What did they do at their peak? Paul George finished third in MVP voting and went to the conference finals. That's what Paul George did at his peak. Those were two separate peaks, by the way, because the year he finished third in the MVP voting was the year Damian Lillard waved bye to him. Damian Lillard, at his peak, went to the conference finals. Okay, that's their peak. What did Shea do at his peak? Had the greatest regular season in history since Michael fucking Jordan. That's what he did at his peak. If you have either of them above Shea, you don't know ball. What do you mean 2 teams? Conference finals, delayed grats. Conference finals. He didn't lead 2 teams to the NBA Finals.
No, you
Paul
didn't
George
read the
did.
rest. He says by being traded away from
by being
traded.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
The
My
Indiana
bad.
Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I was thinking he didn't, because he did lead to the Pacers to the conference finals and then got traded away from them, and then he did lead the Clippers to the conference finals, and I didn't get traded from them. He just left. But yes, he did lead 2 teams to the NBA finals by being traded away from them. That is very true. If you think George and Lillard and Embiid are better players than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't know what to tell you. Let's get into our interview with Alex Hammerstone. Joined us last week. SP3 and I recorded this on Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday evening with Alex Hammerstone, talking MJF's return to MLW, talking MLW Summer of the Beast, talking upcoming appearances at Richard Holiday's show, talking Dynasty in the past, talking Jack George Washington. A lot of fun with Alex Hammerstone, who was late because he does not skip leg day. Here we go. Alex Hammerstone. Welcome back, everyone, to In the Weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3, and we got a special guest here on today's show from MLW, Alex Hammerstone. Hammer, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. What's going on?
As always.
Yeah, well, for everybody watching, I'm late to this because it was leg day, and I couldn't not finish leg day.
Good reason. You know what? We've had wrestlers be late before. Their reason is not as good as we can't leg that day. Yeah. In the words of Jay-Z, people skip leg day to run their mouth. Hammer, he's here not skipping leg day, and still, not sure if you're gonna run your mouth. And
Still here to run my mouth.
So all right. You said it, not me. You said it. Let's get right into it. Summer of the Beast, you and MJF reunited backstage. He was feeling you up. He had to get a good feel on the pecs there. What was it like seeing MJF again backstage?
We've had a few chances over the last couple of years where we run into each other, but it hasn't been as frequent as I like. We have stayed in touch, it's always a little difficult because we know how this world works. So when all of a sudden you have that friend who takes off to the top of the mountaintop, I'm sure he's got so many people in his phone. Hey brother, how you doing? Hey brother, So I never want to be that guy because I always felt like me and Max had a very genuine friendship. So, I've always managed to keep in touch with him without being overbearing. But like I said, we haven't had a lot of chances to see each other in person. So that whole day was just wild because I had a red-eye flight to get to New York. And so, of course, I'm at the venue sleeping on the couch as expected. And I feel a shake, and it's Court. And he goes, I got a surprise for you, right? I was like, what's up? He goes, you miss MJF? You want to see him? You want to see Max today? And I was just like, no, that's not happening. There's no way that is happening. Like, even with how crazy the world of professional wrestling has become, where you get these crossovers and you're seeing these partnerships and these work togethers, it was like, that's not happening. He's like, yep. But then even once I realized that Court was like, yeah, this is happening, there's part of my brain that goes, you think it's happening. Like, you think you made the deal, but it's pro wrestling. It's not happening until it's happening. So then a couple hours later, when I get the grab of my shoulder and got to see Max, it was a really cool moment.
That was genuinely, like, when it happened, I was like, that's one of the most surprising moments in wrestling.
Yeah.
Certainly this year and for a while, because I don't think anybody expected MJF to return to MLW in that fashion. Like, to pull that off, like, full kudos to MLW for pulling that off. It was spectacular.
Yeah, 100%. It's excuse me. This day and age, it's really hard to keep things hush-hush, keep things kayfabe, and have a surprise for the night before some idiot is, spilling the beans to the internet early. But to get to pull that off, it was pretty cool.
So, how do you look back on that time with you and MJF starting out in MLW? Because that was like really important to your rise to the top and winning the MLW Heavyweight Championship with your time with the Dynasty with MJF and Richard Holiday. How do you kind of reflect back on that time and how much it was that important to your journey?
I always say that, like, if wrestling ends tomorrow for me, if I have a match tomorrow and God forbid broke my neck, wrestling's over. That it did, a lot of people, um, you know, MLW is a great company. It's a great promotion. They put out a lot of quality stuff. But they aren't the biggest juggernaut in the professional wrestling world. For a lot of people, they still are waiting to discover MLW or you know, but at that time, like what we were doing was like, it's crazy that 5 years later, like people are still talking about it. Like I run into people at independent shows and they're talking about Dynasty Bro, or they're quoting promos we did, or, a Hogan 10, or, Gift Train, or all these little Dynasty little gimmicks that we did. And it's just like, we did something that, exceeded maybe what people thought the potential of the reach we had at the time was. And that's not to take any credit from anybody else, because at that time at MLW, there was a lot of people working really hard. There was a lot of really great stuff going on, and we were just happened to be one of those acts, but we didn't realize, at the time, we weren't like putting all this extra thought into these promos, and that, oh, we gotta say something that's gonna be catchy for the internet. We were just three guys having a great time together, and obviously that came across in a way that people resonated with, and I think that's incredible. I think that's what pro wrestling's all about.
And working with Richard Holiday again with his show upcoming, facing Bear Bronson, which Bear Bronson has been killing it on the independent scene since he's gotten back out there. Talk to us a little bit about this match and working with Richard Holiday as he's kind of venturing out on his own a little bit and now running his own show.
Yeah, obviously the three of us, we all went our own directions, and we're all just trying to build our own careers, and um, trying to find our own paths per se. But yeah, that's going to be a great event. For his first time organizing a professional wrestling show. Um, it's got a lot of really interesting wrestlers on it, a lot of very talented wrestlers. First time matchup like me and Bear. That's gonna be a good one. You're looking at a guy like him who, through a set of very unfortunate circumstances, like he had no control over. His career kind of got like ripped out from underneath it. And instead of you're doing boo-hoo and crying about it, he's working very hard. He's got a chip on his shoulder and he wants to prove something. And that resonates with me where I'm at in my stage of my career right now, because I had a couple unfortunate things happen. And I let it tear me apart. I fell apart, and I was in a real bad spot, and through a you know, couple different things happening, through Court Bauer reaching out and giving me the chance to come back to MLW and feel that love all over again. Like I'm in that spot now. I'm going, hey, I'm not a has-been. My best days aren't behind me. I have that chip on my shoulder, so I think it's going to be a really interesting clash.
So yeah, talking about that return to MLW and Summer of the Beast, it was great to see you kind of back home in MLW with that crew over there. But you had a little bit of an issue in your matchup because you were advertised to face Ultimo Guerrero one-on-one, and then Matthew Justice injected himself into the festivities, and you had a lot to say after the match. So do you have anything you want to get off your chest in regards to that and getting your a one-on-one matchup that you were advertised for?
Yeah, talk about having some bullshit put in your way that's out of your control, right? All I'll say is this: I didn't lose that match. I didn't get pinned in that match. And let's take it back a couple of years. National Openweight title. I didn't lose that championship. I never got pinned for that championship. we're looking at a trail of corruption, almost as big as my biceps. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. As far as I'm concerned, I should still have the championship. But if you wanna honor, the thing that I did and relinquish it all those years ago, sure, you could say Ultima's the champion. But the one thing you can't say is Matt Justice is the champion. He shouldn't have been in the match. It shouldn't have gone down that way. And I think you call it Summer of the Beasts. Yeah, me and Ultima, we were beasts. And then that greasy hair bozo, he was the clown. He made it Summer of the Clowns. He made that whole match a joke. And let's just say he pissed off the wrong beast.
You asked people to rate your spine buster on a scale of Ron Simmons to Farouk.
Oh man, do you see how much hate I got for that because of people putting it to choke slam? I can clearly see your hand is on his throat. How can you clearly see something when his back is facing? His hand was on his chest. Kind of like the same way that Ron Simmons would push you down when he did the thrust spine buster. You can go down to the mat with him. Kind of the same way Ron Simmons would do the spine buster. I digress. It's kind of like a hybrid choke slam spine buster. I know it's somewhere in the middle. But that being said, every wrestling fan who wants to make, don't you even know that? No, I don't know. I don't know what the wrestling. So, can you please write me? Tell me about your thesis on what makes choke slam different than a spine buster.
It's very funny because I think when people think spine buster, they're like, oh, Arn Anderson. That's the model of a spine buster. Like you using Ron Simmons to Farouk, you're making it very clear this is who I'm modeling the spine buster after. And if you have
that's what's funny. If I would have said rate my spine buster 1 to 10, people go, that's not how you do a spine buster. But when you say rate my spine buster, Ron Simmons to Farouk, that would make someone go, what does that even mean? Let me look up a Farouk spine buster. Clearly see why he does it.
So yeah, you're being very intentional with this, and then for people to be like, "That's not a spine buster," it's like, I don't know. I give it 5 Farouk. You don't know what my scale is, but 5 Farouks.
Wait, Farouk's, that's good.
I have been gifted this grace somewhere in the last couple months where I just don't take anything like seriously anymore when it comes to the internet. I used to have tweets and I'd sit there and I'd fester and I'd think of how I could burn this person. And sometimes I still respond. Don't get me wrong. But when I respond, it's not out of hatred and oh, I gotta get you. It's like I'm laughing because on the other side of the computer, these people are fired up. They are very mad about this spine buster. And it is, if I respond to them and they respond back to that, they're sitting there waiting all day to see if I say something again. They are checking their phone oh my God, he doesn't have anything smart to say. But it's realistically, I just don't care. But this is consuming you. This is rotting you from inside out. And meanwhile, it was just I made a comment. I don't care.
So the real question is what era of Ron Simmons do you prefer the most? WCW Ron, Blue Helmet Farouk?
Easy, bro. Acolytes. I know the APA was cool, but Acolytes was when I was first starting to really get to watch wrestling on a consistent basis. And I didn't even get the gimmick. I don't even, but they were part of the Ministry of Darkness. And I was just that's the shit. So also the best Bradshaw too.
Yes.
I'm sure you've told this story before, but since it's you just put it up, the Flashback Friday from the George Washington Hammerstone being part of this New Day segment.
Okay.
How did all this come about, and what was it like working with those guys?
All right. So I was working extra work for the WWE, and I had like some tryouts, and I was like at a phase where I was like talking with the company, like really close to like possibly signing. And I'm doing this extra work, and early in the day we're supposed to have matches, like little tryout matches, and then I'm there ready to go, and it's also 4th of July weekend, like it's literally 4th of July. That was the gimmick. So because of that holiday, none of the important players are there. Look, Triple H wasn't there, Vince wasn't even there, which is super rare. Like a lot of like the main office players weren't there. So there's nobody important like who could be like a decision maker to see us as extras. And then before like we're about to do matches, they come down and say, "Hey, we don't have time to do matches today. Go ahead and go change." And I was just like, "Why am I even here?" Because a lot of people like to do extra work where they go for the first time. They get to experience the WWE backstage. They get to dress up as a security guard and be on TV and say, "Hey, mom, look, out of the security guard." I had already done that. Like I was at the stage where I said, I'm saying, I'm here for a job. I'm taking this super serious. Um, and so then they come back and they say, "Oh, hey, we need all the extras. We're going to dress up, come get some costumes." And I was like, "I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that." So I didn't do it. I didn't go to the rehearsals. I didn't get a costume. I didn't do anything. But I was 1 week away from a bodybuilding competition. So I was in incredible shape, and I knew I looked great. I was super tanned. I was super lean, super ripped. And right before it happened, I just had this like voice in my head of like, if you get a chance to be on TV, go be on TV. And so I went to the costume truck and I was like, "Hey, I forgot to grab my costume." And they gave me this full George Washington costume. I had like this big coat and this and that. And I threw all of it to the side, put on the wig, and went out there just to show off my body on TV. I made sure I was positioned all the way towards the hard cam so that the hard cam would see me. And we were standing backstage to go out, and two funny things happened. First of all, John Cena walked by, and he's walking, and then he stops, and he just walked backwards, like in his, like retraced his steps, and he turned and he just, well, and then that's it. And then the other thing that happened was the producer who had planned the segment walked over to us, and he was like, "Wait, were you at the rehearsals?" And then he's like, and then they were like, "Okay, we're going out." And I just ran through the curve. It couldn't stop me. So yeah, basically that whole segment, I didn't even know what we were supposed to be doing. I was just like, I'm going to get myself on TV and I'm going to look good doing it. And hopefully somebody backstage is like, "Man, who's this guy?" And of course, that didn't pan out, but it was still a fun time nonetheless.
You look like a stripper, George Washington. I mean that as a compliment.
Realistically, that's about all I was.
Well, last year you got to go back to WWE. You appeared on NXT. Tell us about like that experience and working with someone like Tony D'Angelo. And did you get any feedback from anybody backstage?
Yeah, that was a really incredible, like, full circle experience, because you're talking about these times when, I'm going backstage as an extra and just hoping to have a tryout match versus showing up at NXT. All the coaches know who I am. They know all about me. Agents are helping us put together a match. They're familiar with my work. They're, "Oh, hey, do that. You want to hit that missile drop kick you do," or, and it was just such a 180, from being this guy who was just begging for a spot and begging to be noticed and hoping that if I wore a George Washington wig and oiled myself up, that someone would see me. So, "Hey, Hammerstone, thank you for coming. We're happy to have you." And getting to do it that way. And everyone was just so professional. All the feedback I got was great the whole time. Yeah, it was a positive experience through and through. I'm glad I got to do it.
And before I let you go, we play a game on the channel. I don't remember if we played this with you last time. Partner, promo, punch in the face. Maybe 3 names, one to partner with, one to promo against, one person to punch in the face, basically have a match with, all right? 3 names. Ultimo Guerrero, we're going to go with Josh Alexander, man, you're pretty familiar with. And we'll go with the person you faced on NXT, Tony D'Angelo.
So partner with promo. What?
Promo again.
Promo against.
Yeah.
Or punch in the face.
Yes.
Okay. I'll punch Tony D'Angelo because he walked out of our match. I'll promo against Ultimo because he didn't speak English, so he won't be able to come up with a smart comeback. I'll partner with Josh because he's one of the best, very best wrestlers in the world. He brought out the best of me. I love Josh. And, there's not enough good things I can say about him.
Hammer, we appreciate you joining us here. Let everybody know where they can find you at and what you got coming up.
Yeah, I'm Alex Hammerstone on Twitter and Instagram, Alexander Hammerstone on Facebook. Honestly, anywhere you're at, any internet viable community, if you look up Hammerstone, I'm mostly likely what's coming up. But yeah, we got some big shows with MLW coming up down the road in September. I believe we're in Dallas or Houston or somewhere in Texas. We're doing it big. I think I'm gonna get my hands on that greaseball Matt Justice. All I know is every show we've had since I've been back has been a sellout. So do the smart thing, look it up. I don't have all the information right now, but you want to look up, go to MLW.com, go to their Twitter, do what you have to do. Get your tickets because they're gonna sell out and they're gonna be left wishing you were there. Yeah, and I'm doing plenty of other cool stuff outside of the company, but for now, just follow along for the journey because it's gonna be a wild ride.
And it is MLW Fightland. It is in the Dallas Fort Worth area. That's September 13th, everybody. So there you get your ticket.
Get paid to do what you do.
I try. Hammer, again, we appreciate you joining us.
Say it to you, Hammer.
Guys, we'll be right back here on In the Weeds.
You guys.
There you go. Big thanks to Alex Hammerstone for joining us here on In the Weeds. Again, we recorded that last week. We appreciate Hammer coming on, talking to us about MJF's return to MLW, some Dynasty memories, jacked George Washington, a bunch of other fun stuff there. All right, SP3, let's get into things. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. Lab Glass starts us off. When the hell did gauntlet matches become no DQ? Have they always been no DQ? I genuinely do not remember.
No, they have not. They've never been no DQ. It's just it's a good thing that Michael Cole is very good at gaslighting you to make you believe that gauntlets have always been no DQ. He said it like it was something that we knew already. It's kind of like how he made the announcement of Zoruka in the WWE Women's Tag Team title match. Like, you guys always knew it was no DQ, right?
I don't remember them. I remember, obviously, like triple threat matches are no DQ, but in gauntlet matches, I don't remember them being no DQ. But apparently,
no. There's actually been gauntlet matches that had DQs in them. So no, this is not something. Yeah, usually it's like when the babyface plays like a whole stable in a gauntlet match. I remember there's instances, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I know there's instances of one of the stablemates getting themselves disqualified to weaken them with a steel chair to set up for the next person.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I remember that kind of happening as well. Wow. Well, this one was no DQ because reasons, I guess. Ultimate babyface Braun Breaker ran the table to start things off. He defeated Penta. He defeated LA Knight. He defeated Jey Uso. And then he got to face old CM Punk, the big bad heel, CM Punk.
I do love how he was basically going up in competition. There you go. Yeah, I figured. He was going up in competition as he was going in because Penta is relatively new in WWE and he beats him. Then you have someone who's been a U.S. champion and he beats him. Then he faces someone who's been a world heavyweight champion and he beats him. And then he faces one who's been a multi-time world champion and he can't get the job done. Braun had a hell of a showing, going 30 minutes. He looked good in there. He looks like he is like I think I said this after Seth got injured, but he looks like he's ready to be a top guy. His body is there. His character work is catching up to what he's been in the ring for the last year or so, and he had a strong showing last night.
I love when we're still like shit talking CM Punk, even though he was already beaten like Jay and LA Knight and Penta, and he's like, "You're just gonna fail. Like, look at you. What's going on? Where it's clobbering time now, huh?"
He's like, "What time is it?
Yeah.
What time is it? It's clobbering time."
That was great. Braun gave an excellent performance in this match. Again, ultimate babyface Braun Breaker, but he could not slay old CM Punk. Bronson Reed did interfere, and then Jey Uso came back out to interfere. But so Jey took out Bronson Reed. Punk caught. You know what I don't like? What I don't like is when someone goes for a spear and they just kick them. Like, that's supposed to like really stop them. Braun Breaker is running 100 miles per hour at you. He will eat your leg and still spear you. You try to do that little dumb kick.
He's gonna take your leg off.
Yeah.
In reality,
I don't like that little kick. Like, oh, that stopped him. No, it would not stop him. All you're doing is giving him an extra leg to feast on, and now you have one less leg to stand on as he runs through you. That kick ain't working against Braun Breaker going that fast. I don't like that. I was like, oh, that was kind of weak looking. But
it felt like the finish came way too soon after Bronson Reed and Jey Uso got involved. That's twice in a row. Damn, I haven't seen that in a while.
It's been a while. I know, right?
But yeah, this was them saying it's no DQ in a gauntlet match was just Triple H giving himself an excuse to have interference because he had to. He booked a bunch of clean matches for most of the night until the final two matches, and he wanted to do that freely in this matchup so Bronson Reed could help, and they wanted to protect Jey Uso by having Bronson Reed basically get involved in that part of the gauntlet match to set up Braun getting the win there. And then when CM Punk came out last, I was like, yeah, he's definitely winning. He's definitely winning. It just made sense, but I agree. It put over Braun more than CM Punk, in my opinion. But that's what the post match was for, because the Braun Stars attack CM Punk and Jey Uso. It looks like Bronson Reed's going to deliver a 2-man tsunami, and then dun dun dun, and the roof blew off of that arena. That is one of the biggest pops of the year. Like, they went crazy. It was like the glass shattering. The boom 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 is like the glass shatter for how these people reacted to that. That was insane. And Roman comes out. He's got a new shirt, OTC1. Because, you know, last time he left, Jeremy, you know, he was the tribal chief, and then he came back and he's the OTC. So, you know, we got to do something new. We got to put a new variation on it. So they did a focus group, and they did a whole meeting, and they was like, how do we rebrand Roman Reigns? Do we need to rebrand Roman Reigns? No, but we should rebrand Roman Reigns. Okay. How do we do it? He's the original tribal chief. He's the only tribal chief. What can we add to this? And someone in the meeting was like, 1.
Yeah, they just put their ones up. No. I don't even think they raised their hand. They put their ones up, and they're like, you got it, the 1. That's what we put on there.
That's what we need. Great thinking. This is why we do these focus groups. This is why we have a creative team. OTC1. Original Tribal Chief 1. Only Tribal Chief 1. There we go. And then they had the rebrand.
It's a complete play off of the QB1 thing. That's what makes it so funny. It's just, Cody calls himself QB1. You know what we're going to call Roman? OTC1. It's so funny to me. It doesn't need the 1, but whatever. You got to sell some t-shirts, and they will sell some t-shirts. You know what else they're going to sell? SP3. They're going to sell what? I hate this new StreamYard setup. It's so dumb. It's
Oh, the
god
new
awful.
StreamYard setup sucks. This is something that did not. This is like the OTC one thing. This is something that didn't need any additions or improvements, and they just messed it up.
So we did many moons ago an AI championship of like what would a tribal chief championship look like with AI, and we had various god awful looking belts. Well, WWE decided we're gonna top you because they are selling this thing for $600, folks.
$600. That is the
Look at
worst
this.
looking design I've seen for. That looks like it was made on a piece of paper and they put it on the title. It's incredible. It's incredible how bad that looks. That is an AI championship. What would a Roman Reigns championship look like? And that was what would came out.
Look at this thing. I keep thinking like Roman's head will spin, you know? I keep thinking like it's a spinner belt. It's not, but it feels like it should be a spinner belt. This thing is so terrible. Oh, it's 100% going to sell out. I'm shy. It might already be sold out, honestly.
Nah.
People love this stuff.
People love
Imagine-
championship belts and they love Roman Reigns. So it's going to sell out.
Imagine just like walking around with this thing. You got Roman Reigns' face across your shoulder or on your waist.
You got Roman Reigns' face above your crotch. Like that's crazy.
The Ulafala. Maybe you wear it like it's the net like Jacob Fatu does. Like you wear it as a necklace, so it's like you're wearing the Ulafala, but also Roman Reigns' face. This thing
on your
rules.
chest.
This thing rules so much. So apparently, this is from WrestleVotes. They were in talks of doing like a tribal chief title for the Roman Solo match at the Netflix debut because that was to crown the tribal chief. And apparently this was going to be the championship.
That would have kind of gave it away, wouldn't it?
Before someone decided, well, they sent the Solo titles to, you know, they're with the Pacers gear and the Chiefs 3-peat gear. You know what I mean? That's where the Solo titles went.
Fair.
But yeah, this is apparently going to be the title before someone was like, no. I just imagine Roman came in there and saw this thing and it's like, no, absolutely not. The Ulafala is enough. Yeah, we're good. We can just do the Ulafala. I don't need this championship here. And they decided, well, we made the titles, we made the design, we might as well make some money off of it. And here we are, 7 months later, the titles are up for sale. Take that, Cody Rhodes. You ain't got no custom title with your face on it.
He's still the number one guy, ladies and gentlemen. When will they get it through their heads? Roman is still number one. You could be QB1 all you want. There's only one face of the team, and that's Roman Reigns. And now he's a face on a belt.
Roman going away for 3 months and then coming back and getting the biggest pop is just like peak pro wrestling. He rules so much. The man's worked like 5 matches in the past 3 years.
Let's go over this. Let's go over this. Okay, so this year he's wrestled. I know. I think I could do it off the top of my head. You could just.
He's wrestled 3 matches this year. I know that.
Yeah, because he did WrestleMania against Seth and Punk.
Yep.
Did he work any like house shows? Because the only other match I think before the only other match before then is the Royal Rumble, and then there's the solo match at the Netflix premiere. Yep. Then there was Survivor Series, War Games. Then there was Crown Jewel with the 6-man tag with him and the Usos versus Solo and the New Bloodline. Then before that, I'm trying to think. Okay, so then before that is Bad Blood with him and Cody versus Solo and Jacob Fatu. Then before that is his return at SummerSlam. So I think that's it. unless I'm forgetting something that he did in between that. Then he comes back at SummerSlam. Then it's WrestleMania 40 against Cody. Then there's WrestleMania 40 with him and Rock versus Cody and Seth Rollins. Did he wrestle at like Chamber or anything like that? I'm trying to think. I know he wrestled at Royal Rumble against Randy Orton and LA Knight.
I'm gonna cut you off there.
Okay.
So there's
a house show?
No. I'm just cutting you off. Like, that's the start of 2024. So he's worked 9 matches since the start of 2024. That's it. 9 matches. Rules. Absolutely rules. It's barely a match every 2 months for Roman. Barely. And that three match stretch from Bad Blood, Crown Jewel, and Survivor Series, doing a lot of heavy lifting there. That's 1/3 of his stretch. That's 1/3 just in a month and a half, because that was start of October and then end of November. So he did 3 matches in about a month and a half there. So it's doing a lot of heavy lifting for this whole run.
Out of those 9 matches, he's wrestled 2 one-on-one matches.
Yeah. It's fantastic. That's why Roman's the best. In one match against Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa got a one-on-one Roman Reigns match.
I told everybody that was going to happen, but people don't listen.
This is why Roman's the best, though. Gets paid the most money to do the least amount of work. Still gets the biggest reactions on the show. He's doing Street Fighter in the meantime. Roman's got like 7 kids. I'm not exaggerating. I do think it is like at the 6 or 7 right now. The kids are on summer break. You know, he's going to stay home, spend time with them. Once they're back in school, he's like, all right, fine. I can get back to work now. They're getting back in school. We'll get back to work here. It's great. This is why Roman is the best. I will tolerate no Roman Reigns slander. If you don't think making the most money for doing the least amount of work is how you should be living, I don't know what to tell you. I like my job. I'm really good at my job. If I could work less and make more, I'd be much happier. Much, much happier.
Hey, I've been shooting in the Roman Reigns gym for nearly a decade now. When everybody was hating on him, I was saying, we accept you. He is the fandom of being a fan of the fandom of Roman Reigns is what created True Heel Heat. It was that WrestleMania 33 weekend. It's the part of our lore.
The Big Dog, was it the Big Dog song? That was
yes, Roman, the Big Dog, Roman. He's so strong. Come on. It's a part of the lore. It's a part of the lore of True Heel Heat. We have been with Roman through thick and thin, and I'm so glad that he's gotten to the point where he doesn't have to work that hard. He just shows up for like 10 dates a year. Half of them is to talk. The other half is about one singles matchup and a whole bunch of tag team and multi-man matchups.
He's so smart. I want to be the workhorse. Fine, dummy. Go out there and be the workhorse. How's that working for you, Seth? What's going on here? Being the workhorse. Roman's got it down. How's this working for other people who want to be the workhorse? Roman's getting bigger checks, and he's getting bigger reactions. That's how it should work.
And it's always, I feel like literally the last 2 years especially, Roman leaving coincides with when we feel like WWE's on a down point, and then when he comes back, it artificially enhances it and makes it feel like, oh, this is a hot company again.
That's the power of being number one right there. That's the power of being OTC one. You show up and it's like, oh shit, WWE's on fire. Roman's here. This company's been clicking. Like, nah, just Roman's back. He adds an importance to everything he does. And it is because he doesn't show up that often. Like when you're there every week, it's like, yeah, okay. We're kind of used to you. The wrestlers say this all the time too. Dolph Ziggler famously would talk about this. of like, I started losing importance because I was just around all the time. And people were they could count on me. It's like, oh yeah, Dolph's here. Great. Consistency, great. But like I never went away. Going away can be good.
Yeah.
You get the bigger reaction when it comes out. And it's like, oh, we missed you. We want you to be back. Ugh. Come on. Bring it in. We're happy. We're happy to see you. And Roman doesn't overstay. He's not going to be back for like 8 months or anything.
He'll come, show up, and then he's gone for 3 weeks, and then you'll see the graphic. Roman Reigns returns to Monday Night Raw.
He's got it down, man. That man went through the dog food era, all right? We're forgiving Roman for taking this time off. That man
was the workhorse. He was
Yeah.
working all the time, but we didn't care. All y'all did was boo him the whole time.
Yeah. That man went through legitimately, if not the worst, one of the worst creative stretches in WWE history, where he was on top and he was getting booed all the time, and he had to suffer through the dog food and every match against Baron Corbin, who bless Corbin, but those matches were brutal to watch. Like, he went through just the worst creative stretch with Triple H trying to kind of getting him over, but not.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Well, in his mind. In his mind, he was. Yes.
No, he didn't. Roman is one of the most, like, he was shoved down the fans' throat, and Vince made people hate him because he tried shoving them down his throat when the Shield broke up. He was the only one from the Shield that didn't have any realistic changes to them after the breakup of the Shield. He's just walking around, still wearing the flak jacket, still coming through the crowd. He still got the song. They never developed him. Like Dean Ambrose was able to become the lunatic fringe and become the crazy guy, like this generation's Brian Pillman, and wear the wife beater and the jeans. Seth Rollins was the architect and became the top heel in the company. They just decided they were going to shove Roman down the fans' throat, and he wins the Royal Rumble to one of the loudest amount of boos and rejection that you ever seen, to the point that The Rock is still confused on why they are booing him 10 years later. And then he faces Brock. He gets martyred by Brock, where Brock is just beating the hell out of him and creates Suplex City as a meme. And then he gets cashed in on when he had his whole family there to root him on, to see him win the WWE Championship. They pulled the rug from under him and had Seth Rollins cash in and win the WWE title on his night. Then he has to wait, what is it? Like, I think it's like 8 months later for him to eventually win the WWE Championship. He had to go through a Big Show feud. He had to go through the Wyatt and anyone but you Roman era and that rivalry and stuff like that. Then he eventually wins the championship. Seth gets injured before he's able to win the championship, because I think they wanted to do Seth dropping the title to Roman, but he didn't even get that. He wins some stupid one-night tournament that tried to be Deadly Games without being Deadly Games, because it was only a 4-person tournament. He beats Dean Ambrose in the finals, and what do they do again? Pull the rug from under him and have Sheamus, one of the worst Money in the Bank winners, cash in on him, and then he becomes a meme with the looking up into the sky, holding his head. Then he has a feud with Triple H. He actually gets over in Philly and wins the WWE Championship back. But all it is a vehicle to set up the Triple H rivalry, where he beats the hell out of Triple H. Then Triple H gets the grand return in the Royal Rumble and wins the WWE title from him. And then he faces Triple H in one of the most boring WrestleMania matches of all time. That is just the first year of his push. This is awful. All of this is this is before we even get to what you said with the dog food era and everything else. It was already dead by then. They're just dragging him through the mud. They're just dragging a dead body through the mud at that point. Should have turned him heel after that. Thankfully, he had AJ Styles after he won the WWE title at WrestleMania 32, and that was a fun rivalry and everything with the Shield. But then he was a part of he got suspended for the, I guess, PEDs or whatever it was at that time. I don't know. I don't remember that well. That was 10 years ago. But damn, yes, I have big dog PTSD. I have Triple H PTSD, I have Big Dog PTSD, and the Big Dog is much different than the Triple H because it's not him politicking to give me PTSD. It's the Vince McMahon horribly booking this man that I wanted to like, and I rejected everything, and I was like, no, I'm gonna like him. I saw an awful main event at WrestleMania 33. People in the crowd is crying next to me. Oh, The Undertaker, this is his final night. You know what I was doing? Roman, the big dog, Roman, he's so strong. Hoo-ah! I got the Roman flat jacket back in my crib in the Bronx. I got the Roman flat jacket still. I got that. I went to SummerSlam that year and I wore a Roman flat jacket because I am riding in the gym with Roman Reigns. I'm proud of my boy. He made it. My homie, he made it.
He's earned this. He's earned this. Care if you like Roman, care if you dislike Roman. Let that man be. Like he says, if Seth Rollins could get more money for less dates, he would. If Cody Rhodes could get more money for less dates, he would. These guys want to work hard. Oh, let me go out here and let me do all the live events. Let me kiss all the babies. Let me put on these banger matches. Nah. Get the money and do the less work. He's earned all of that. This company was built off him and the dog food he had to eat. Let him live. And if it's proof that it's working, listen to the pop. Just listen to the pop.
He never turned babyface. All he did was leave.
Yeah,
he never turned babyface.
That's a rule.
He has not changed. He has not changed. They did a whole angle with him reuniting with the bloodline, and he never apologized.
He said yeet. That's all I needed to say. The man said yeet. Like, okay, we forgive you, Roman. We forgive you.
He's cool with his cousin, and he's just like, CM Punk. Ugh. I don't like you.
Man said yeet. That's all he needed to say. Like, all right. I guess Jay forgives him. So if Jay forgives him, he's cool with him. It works.
I think that's my problem, Chase. Chase said he was always a face to me. I should have put Roman turning heel in 2020 in my biggest heel turns of all time list. But he didn't turn heel to me. He just made everybody else realize how great he was, and I already knew that.
Yeah.
He was still a face to me. He's helping bring up his family. He's helping Jey Uso become a star. Like, why is this? How is he a heel?
Right. Where's Jey Uso without Roman Reigns? Where's Jimmy Uso without Roman Reigns?
Where's Sami Zayn? Yeah. Where's Sami Zayn without Roman Reigns? Where's Solo Sikoa without Roman Reigns? Kevin Owens got the big push when he started feuding with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns brings up everybody. Everybody he touches, he's got the Midas touch. Where would Cody Rhodes be considered QB1 if he didn't have to go through Roman Reigns? No.
Seth Rollins? Where?
Seth Rollins was supposed to be the older brother to Roman. And what happened? Roman jumped all over him, and he's number one, and Seth been number 2, number 3, number 4.
Roman lifts everybody. Roman deserves this.
He's the rising tide.
That's right.
He lifts all ships.
I'm happy that Roman Reigns is back.
So what do you think is the SummerSlam match?
It's got to be him and Braun, right?
I think it's Braun. It's the Braun Stars versus Jay and Roman. I think they want to. I think if you're WWE, it is smart to do it because they showed last year they can come up with stuff, especially with Roman's schedule. They can come up with stuff to drag it out and not do that Roman and Braun matchup to 2026.
That's where I'm like, they can't keep waiting. Like, are we gonna get a Roman and CM Punk match? if they don't do a Roman and CM Punk match, then they've missed the boat here. Because you got to do a singles match between these two. They can't just keep delaying Roman and Braun Breaker to the point where they just don't do it at all. So hopefully they get to it. Yeah, I think it probably will be Roman and Jay against Braun and Bronson. If Seth was healthy...
Wait. Gray Streams thinks Roman's working Paris?
He might work Paris. He might. You don't think so?
I don't think so. They got Cena for that. Why would you need me? You don't need me. I gotta go film this movie.
I don't know if it'll work Paris. He might just want the vacation, you know? All right, let me go to Paris. That sounds fun.
I don't know. I think if he was going to be in Paris, they would have already started advertising him for Paris.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think he's working Paris if he's just there to work Paris. I think he's working Paris if it's like, all right, let me go to Paris and let me dine out. Let me go see the Eiffel Tower. I ain't been to Paris in a while. All right, let me get the private jet. That's how he's working Paris. He ain't working Paris to like work a wrestling match. He's just working to get that vacation to go to Paris. That's it.
I don't think so. I think if Roman's working Paris, you're advertising that months in advance.
Yeah.
I think he's here. He's gonna do the Braun Star matchup at SummerSlam. I think like the nearest that I could see them doing it is like Survivor Series. If you don't want to put, but it makes most sense to put the Seth faction in War Games. But if Seth is actually injured and he's going to be out that long, maybe you don't put the Seth Riders in that matchup. Maybe you put the MFTs, which is an awful name for a team. Can we why y'all didn't talk about that? Did y'all? That MFT, that is not. It was weird when he first said it about. Yeah. Remember, this was Tama Tonga's original nickname when he first came to WWE last year. He called them his MFT, and now he's trying to make it my MFT, my family. It's my family tree.
Yes, like, that's the part that bugs me. Because Solo on SmackDown was like, oh, I'm gonna get my MFTs on you. Oh, like, so you're gonna get my family tree on
trees. No, because he says MFTs, so it's family trees.
Yeah, like y'all are dumb for this, but you can't really say it. Like, I'm gonna get MFT on you. That's how you gotta say it. Like, I'm gonna get MFT on you.
It sounds like a disease,
right? Solo's gonna infect them with more Samoans and Tongans.
My whole setup just fell apart. My whole setup just fell apart. I'm gonna get my MFTs, and all for Tama Tonga. It was just my favorite Tongan. That's what everybody said it was. Yeah. My favorite Tongan. What's Solo?
On the subject of Seth Rollins, who won't be working anytime soon, it doesn't seem, there is no really update on him. Paul Heyman said it's too early to tell. Paul Heyman made the point that we made yesterday of he's got until June with this briefcase. So if he's out for 6 months, that would be very unfortunate, but he doesn't need to lose the briefcase or anything. No. It can still be a thing. I hope Seth is back sooner rather than later. You know, Seth was, I know you haven't been a fan of his heel work. I haven't been the biggest fan of it either, but he was clearly a very important part of the show and was going to be a very important part of the show moving forward. And him being out, thank God Roman's back, because if they didn't have Seth, I don't know who's carrying all these segments that they need to do. I mean, I guess it'd be more Paul Heyman.
That's what made me. I predicted. I told Romeo yesterday. I was like, I think Roman's coming back on this show because I was like, one, you got to have a star that replaces Seth if Seth's going to be gone for a while. Two, you got to set up the SummerSlam build, and the SummerSlam build is very dependent on Roman Reigns being a big part of it. And three, WWE still wants to take more headlines from AEW because fans are still talking about AEW despite them having one of their best shows of the year with Evolution. They're still talking about AEW, so they want to push AEW further down the news cycle. Roman, here you go. Roman's back.
I thought Roman was coming back at the earliest Saturday Night's Main Event, at the latest Raw,
Yeah.
because the SummerSlam build. It's like, if you're gonna,
That's why I was hoping Roman was going to be back on Saturday Night's Main Event, because I thought that would be the smartest way to be like, AEW just had their biggest show of the year. We're going to take the headlines immediately. Roman's back. And that's what made me so pissed off with Saturday Night's Main Event, Jeremy, because I was like, nothing happened. Like, you would have thought, when I said this in the True Hill Heat chat, and, you know, I've always established here when I talk about Romeo's a big WWE defender, and he acted like I committed a war crime. He was like, what do you mean nothing happened? The angle with Jelly Roll was good. I was like, Romeo, I was like, they did an angle to set up this angle on SmackDown. I knew that Jelly Roll was going to be at SummerSlam, so I don't care how good it was. It's not that important. It's not something happening. He's like, Goldberg's retirement match? Nothing happened? I was like, we knew Goldberg was retiring. We knew Goldberg was retiring here, and they cut it off. That was bigger news. They cut off his retirement speech. That's the big news. I was like, if Seth Rollins doesn't get hurt, nothing newsworthy happened on this show.
Goldberg retired. What do you mean? Goldberg retired. That's the newsworthy thing. Goldberg retired.
And you know what my answer to that is? Good. Good. Goldberg retired. Good.
Hopefully we learn more about Seth in the coming weeks. And again, hopefully it's nothing too serious with him. The fact that they did it, called an audible, or planned to do it, whatever it might have been, none of that seems great regardless. Just doesn't seem great. But hopefully he's not gone for too long. Naomi opened the show. Bless Naomi. She had no voice. Her voice was cooked. I was like, oh man, she's trying her heel laugh and it's just cracking. Like I don't know if you saw the videos. She and Bailey and Vacker and Rhea, they were all partying after Evolution. They were singing on the bus. They got a big old party bus after Evolution going from Atlanta to Birmingham. And they were singing I Love Rock and Roll and the Killers and all of this stuff. And Naomi's voice was cooked on this thing. I was like, oh man, oh poor Naomi. It was rough. Rhea comes out, Io comes out, triple threat match for SummerSlam. All right, to be expected. It's fine.
Yeah, it was a logical direction to go in. To me, maybe I'm misrepresenting it or misinterpreting it. It felt kind of condescending for Adam Pearce to be like, oh man, Rhea, Io, you went out there, you created magic. You created magic out there. Like, would he have done the same thing if two guys went out there and put on a great match or a match of the year candidate? I don't think he would. So it kind of felt condescending. Like, treat them as equals. Don't just be like, congratulations, you created magic type of thing. That kind of came off condescending to me. But other than that, I enjoyed this opening segment. I thought everybody kind of played their roles the way they were supposed to. Naomi was great, despite the cracking voice. Her just being like, nah, y'all wasn't feeling the goal, but y'all feeling me now. That was great.
Naomi, I praised her after the press conference. She's very good at giving like a measured answer, not in character, at these press conferences, and then throwing in like a line of character work of being a heel with things. I was like, oh, like she gives you something, which is great. It's like, oh, that's a really good answer. I can story. But then she's like, oh, I got a character to play as well. So let me also say, like, but you didn't believe in me. You know, I was working hard out there, but you guys didn't believe in me. It's like, yeah, you're still in character. She's very good at that stuff. She does it in other interviews too. It wasn't just like a press conference thing with her. She's done it in a bunch of interviews since the heel turn, I should say. I don't like any praise of this was a great match. I just don't like it.
Me either.
The announcers, like, fine. This was like, it kind of annoyed me in the Okada Omega stuff when Jim Ross and they're all talking like, oh, such a great match. Oh, they want to go out there and they want to put on a great match. Like Jim Ross kept saying that of like, they know each other. They know they want to go out there. They want to live up to the expectations. And I'm like, they shouldn't. They should just want to win. They shouldn't want to go out there and put on.
The whole story of the matchup is that this is different now and that Okada said maybe he'll kill him.
Yeah.
That's the whole story of the matchup.
Like, you shouldn't want to go. This is where I give MJF a lot of credit. I'm like, I don't want to go out there and put on a.
Yeah, MJF is always worried about proving that he's better than you, and you know it. That's
My
his whole.
internet's
That's his
kicking
whole
my
thing.
ass today.
I see that. I'm able to fill in the
my
blank
ass.
stuff.
I appreciate you.
I'm filling in the blanks as much as I can.
Like, I don't want people to go, oh, I want to go out there and let's have a 5-star match. No, why? What do you get from having a great match? You win. Your goal is to win the match.
I don't mind the commentary saying it, but when you're saying it in a promo, like that's what I said, it came off kind of condescending. Adam Pearce saying it, and just to give equal amount of criticism, I didn't like when Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm cut the promo, the first promo ahead of All In, and said they were going to have the greatest women's match of all time. It's the biggest women's match in AEW history. You don't know if it's the greatest women's match ever until after the matchup. You could say that after the match we had the greatest match ever, and I think that's more acceptable than saying the whole setup of the matchup is we're gonna have the greatest match ever. Who cares if it's the greatest match ever? You want to have the biggest match ever, make the most money ever. That type of thing should be what a wrestler is talking about, what anybody is talking about in the matchup. But yeah.
Right, let's go out there and have the greatest match. So you're specifically telling me you want to go out there and just do all of your stuff. You want to have your multiple kickouts. You want to have the highs and lows and everything. You don't care if you win or lose. Why? You should care to win. I don't know. Go a basketball player. You're like, let's go have a great Game 7. I don't care if the Game 7 is great. I want to win Game 7.
I want to win.
You know, the efficiency dorks when it comes, especially the playoffs. I think there's a lot of truth in the analytics and everything. But you know what matters in the playoffs? Wins and losses. I don't care what Shea shot in Game 7. He shot the ball terribly in Game 7. You know what happened at the end of the game? He was holding up the championship. That's all I remember. I don't remember these shots that he missed. I remember him holding up the championship. I don't want a great game. I want wins.
Shea was just doing a tribute to Kobe in 2010. It was the 2010 NBA Finals Game 7. Kobe wasn't worried about scoring points. He made that pass to Meta World Peace. That's the best play of the game. That's the best play he did the whole game.
You're trying to win the game. You're trying to win the match. I'm trying to go out there and be like, you know, it'd be great if we had a bunch of lead changes back and forth and it comes down to the final 30 seconds and we got to execute better than them and we got to hit this shot. But if we miss it, it's okay if we miss it because it was still a great game. That's what fans are going to remember. It's great. You think the Thunder were happy that Game 1 was a great game? Oh, it was such a great game. You know, a big comeback by the Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton hitting this game winner. Man, that was so great. Good job, Indiana. We had a great game with you. No, they were down 1-0 in the series. I wanted to kill myself after this game. I wasn't thinking it was great.
You think the Knicks were happy they had one of the greatest NBA playoff games of all time against the Pacers? No, it's about winning. And I see Draws in the chat. He says, I'd rather have Naomi get her own title defenses against different opponents. Who exactly? That's a very vague statement to say because if you want her to verse someone different, first of all, she's never faced Rhea Ripley or Io Sky really one-on-one. She just cashed in and took the pin. That's not really an actual matchup. And Stephanie Vaquer is getting her shot at Clash in Paris. So who exactly is she going to defend it against at SummerSlam if that's the point you're trying to make? I don't know if that's the point you're trying to make, but that comment just caught me. I was like, who exactly is she supposed to face on Raw if she's not facing those two? And if you're going to say Asuka, she's faced Asuka in the past. Like you're literally saying you're not saying different opponents. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky is the biggest matchup that she could possibly have right now at SummerSlam, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year for a premium live event, of the year for WWE. So that's the people that she should be facing at that event. I think that is going to be a great matchup. I think that Naomi being out there with the best wrestler in WWE today, Io Sky, I don't think there's a question. I know Cam said earlier there's been this debate of if Io Sky is the best wrestler on the planet. That's a debate. Yeah, you could put the debate and you could throw a whole bunch of names in there, like your Will Ospreays, your Kenny Omegas, your Mercedes Monets, in that conversation. You could put all those people in that conversation for who's the best wrestler in the world today. But best wrestler in WWE, I don't think there's a question. Sorry, Gunther. Sorry, Sammy. Sorry, Seth. It's Io Sky right now. She is impossibly good. And that's what makes it so frustrating. Triple H didn't have her defend her title for 3 months. He has disqualified himself from winning Booker of the Year for that alone. That alone.
We got the triple threat match. If people were mentioning Naomi's line, didn't love it. Didn't need the line of like, I didn't understand what you're saying. It's an unnecessary line.
I took it more of she's crazy. So
yeah, but it's just not something you need to open yourself up to. Like I think Naomi is certainly well liked in the locker room, well respected. I don't think she meant anything by it. Yeah. It was just a heel thing to say. It's just, you don't need to open yourself up to anything like that. No.
Yeah,
that's where I'm like, but you know, it happens, I guess. Lyra Valkyria defeated Bayley to win a 2 out of 3 falls match, and she will face Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. Becky in red and yellow.
She is awesome. The fact that she's
amazing.
made Becky Hogan is her character is amazing. This is why she's the GOAT. She's the GOAT. God damn it, the GOAT. What are we talking about? GOAT. Oh, that stole the show last night. Lyra and Bayley. They went out there. They had a proto at the start. I was like, this is just a prototypical WWE 2 out of 3 falls matchup, because anytime there's a first fall within 2 minutes of the matchup, I always go back to the Usos versus Wyatt family back in like 2014 when they had an excellent best 2 out of 3 falls matchup. But I think like the first 2 falls happened in like 5 minutes, and then they just let them have a great 15-minute matchup after that. And I thought that we're going in that direction, but nah, they let the second fall last pretty long, lasted about like 8 minutes, and then Lyra tied it up, and then they went like another 10 minutes. They got like 20 minutes to go out there and have an exceptional matchup. Definitely the match of the night, and probably I would say, like, if you want to combine everything that happened Friday night into Monday night, I think this would be in like the top 10 matches of the weekend. If you count Monday as part of the weekend, if you have Monday off and you make it a part of the weekend, Lyra and Bayley would be in that top 10 matches of the weekend.
For just WWE or AEW? And
I would put it in the conversation with, like, I think that the top 4 from All In is there.
Okay.
Then the triple threat between Becky, Lyra, and Bayley, and Io and Rhea are in there as well.
You counting Friday as well, or just Saturday?
I'm counting Friday, so Takeshita and Bandito was in there. You could probably put, if you want to put like Nick Wayne and Teton, or Hechicero and Michael Oku. I think that Lyra and Bayley is better than both of those matches, so I would say it's top 10 for the weekend.
Okay. Blake Christian, Jay Lethal, that's definitely top 10.
Okay.
All right, that's top 10 is fine.
Yeah, it's a top 10. I'm not saying top 10 of the year. I'm saying top 10 of the weekend.
I can get beyond top 10. All right. We're going to get Lyra and Becky again. I thought we were going to get Bayley and Becky, in that scenario. But
I thought so too, but it makes sense to me because I was like, I did like this matchup as an idea when it was announced at the top of the show, because I was like, yeah, I could see Bailey winning, but I think that the whole goal of this is to put over Lyra. So it made I knew when Becky won. That's why I thought Becky should have won the title at Backlash, because at least she would have had like a 3-month run with the title. But they wanted to give Lyra that first victory, and then Becky got the second victory at Money in the Bank. But I think that she's dropping the title to Lyra at SummerSlam, because the whole point of this whole rivalry and storyline is to put over Lyra on a higher level afterwards. And I think that's the only way you could do it, is have her win the third matchup and win the feud.
I do think Lyra's gonna win the championship. I'm not sure. I'm not sure she should.
I'm not sure she should either.
I think Becky's doing so well right now that I would kind of just let her go with it. And I mean, I said it yesterday. I'll repeat it here. I think Becky should lead the Heyman group while Seth is out. Add her to this thing. Give her Braun and Bronson standing behind her. You actually add a female to one of these dominant groups that they never do.
Come out with the IC title.
Like that's what I want to see. Really lift this group by adding Becky Lynch to it, because they don't do that. They never, how out of the box would it be to actually add a female to a group like this? They never do anything like that. Not a female of just, they got Rhea in Judgment Day, they got Liv in Judgment Day, sure. But this is a female who has been to the top. This is a group that is strongly positioned against other male rivals and other male top teams. Judgment Day was fine little group.
Yeah, this is them adding a female to the top faction.
Yeah,
Judgment Day has always been the number 2, number 3 faction in WWE.
That, they don't do that. Do it. Do something different. Prove yourself, Triple H. You want to get back in the Booker of the Year conversation. That's how we're going to threaten them. Do this. Yeah, Becky just being full Hogan with Bronson and Braun behind her.
And then she started wearing black and white and a headband and a bandana.
I mean, they already wear all black, so Braun, that's what they wear the whole time. So yeah.
Yes.
That's what we
and
need.
then she tells Heyman to wear a leather jacket so he's easy.
Yeah. I'm for it. That would rule.
I love it. I love it.
Rule.
I love that idea. That's perfect.
But
yeah, Bailey's having a really good run of matches too. I gotta show love to Bailey because she doesn't get enough love. Despite everything she's been through this year in regards to losing out on her WrestleMania opportunity, she had back-to-back great matches on at Evolution in the opener, and then with Lyra last night. They put on a show. They had the fans invested. They got 20 minutes. It was back and forth. I love the whole story of the matchup with Bailey not wanting to take advantage of Lyra injuring her back, but then going after it and attacking it, and Lyra going after her leg. It had strong psychology. The storytelling was on point. Really well done from those ladies.
The other big note from Raw, Nikki Bella wins her first match since 2018. She defeated Chelsea Green. After the match, Piper and Alba Fire attacked, and Chelsea attacked Nikki. Stephanie Vaquer made the save. So, bless Nikki. The muscle memory of the rack attack. She's like, oh, nope, that screwed up my neck. Gotta switch that up. I was like, yeah, it kicked in. She's so used to hitting the one move, and she's like, no, can't do that one anymore. Gotta switch that up. It happens, What can you do? Fortunately, she caught herself instead of doing the original version, and that's not good for her neck. So it was
the TKO.
It was a fine singles match for what you're gonna get for Nikki and Chelsea. It was.
I'm not gonna front, Jeremy.
Oh no.
This is when I started to get tired.
Oh.
This was the match because I just like I was starting to feel tired at the beginning of Bailey and Lyra, but it was so good that it got me up. And then this match happened, and I was like, "Ah, damn, lack of sleep over the last couple of days catching up to me right now." Had to travel that day too because I had to go to Wrestle Talk office, and it's a little trip away. I was like, I'm feeling tired. It's getting to me. And then when I came home, I had to do a stream like right as I came home. So yeah, I was like, oh, it's getting to me. I've done too many streams this week. Watched too much wrestling. It's getting to me. This matchup here. I watched it, but yeah, this was probably the weakest match on the night.
Yeah. It was what you would expect from a Nikki Bella in her first singles match and Chelsea Green.
True. But does the brand split even matter anymore? You have LA Knight in this gauntlet. You have Chelsea Green in this match.
I didn't even realize that this was a brand split thing. Like, oh yeah, Chelsea is on SmackDown. I didn't even think about that. I was like, yeah, sure, Nikki Bella and Chelsea Green. That's a match that makes sense. Like, this is the match that should happen at WrestleMania with Chelsea Green's open challenge. But all right, fine, they're just gonna do it here. No, the brand split hasn't mattered in forever. Like, they do the draft. They're gonna pretend like it matters, and then 2 weeks later, they're gonna be like, oh, well, we're doing some type of tournament. So we got to do cross-brand matches, so it doesn't matter. It never matters. They like to pretend it does. I don't even know if they pretend it does anymore. They're just
they
like,
don't.
Yeah,
they don't. Yeah. That's why I rather them just go ahead with it's basically them doing what AEW does. They have like a soft brand split with AEW because they don't do like drafts or anything, but they have a soft brand split of on Collision before his injury you're gonna see Adam Cole. You're going to see Danny Garcia. You're going to see FTR. The guys you're going to see on this show regularly. And then there's some people that are going to show up on both shows. Like Moxley was showing up on both shows. Swerve was showing up on both shows. Ospreay will do a collision or two if he's down for it. Like, yeah, there's only a certain amount of people that Tony Storm was doing both shows a lot. Like, yeah. There's only a certain amount of people that you can have both. You can be on both shows, but there's also the people that are going to be on Dynamite weekly. There's a certain amount of people is going to be on Collision weekly. Just do it like that, WWE. Instead of doing brand splits and drafts and everything, like just don't insult our intelligence.
But they gotta have the draft so they can get that numbers boost for that week.
The boom. Yep.
Yeah, that's why they do it. I legitimately think like AEW would do a draft if they wanted to adhere to an actual brand split. Because Tony's a sports guy. He probably would love to do a draft. But I don't think they actually want to do a brand split. And that's why they kind of do, like you mentioned, this soft sort of brand split of, okay, well, we kind of know who the Collision guys are. We kind of know who the Dynamite guys are. But if we need some of the Collision guys on Dynamite, if we need some of the Dynamite guys on Collision, we can easily do that. And we're going to probably see a lot of that in these next few weeks because they're starting the Chicago residency. So I imagine we'll get a lot of different crossover between the two shows.
All right, so I did turn you guys on after I was done at Wrestle Talk yesterday because I did counter program y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to WWE y'all like that. But I listened to the podcast, most of it at the latter half on my way home, and I listened to you, and we're actually in agreement for once on something.
Okay.
Hangman and Moxley is my new match of the year.
Oh, all right.
It's my new match of the year. I think I bumped it up. I was looking at it because I've only had 3 matches that got 5+ stars this year. Omega and Kid, Hangman and Ospreay, and Hangman and Moxley. And I was like, this is the one that gave me the most joy. So it gets the joy boost. And that's my match of the year. Now officially, I'm sorry, ladies, Saya Kamitani and Tam Nakano, you're out of the top 4. You're still top 5. You're number 5 now. But the top 4 for me is Hangman Moxley, Hangman Ospreay, Kid and Kenny, and the Hollywood Ending.
That's a fair top 5. Yeah, Hangman and Moxley is my match of the year right now. It bumped Omega and Gabe Kidd. I appreciate that you agree with me that the Hollywood ending was better than Mercedes and Tony. Different style match.
Yes. Yeah, it's different. It's different style. I gave Mercedes and Tony. I gave it 4 3/4 stars. I disagree with some people who were down on Omega and Okada. I think Omega and Okada, you could say, oh yeah, it's not as good as the fourth one. It's not as good as the first one. I think it's on par with the second and the third one. I know some people are higher on the second one than me. I gave the second one 5 stars, so I do think it is better than All In, but I gave the G1 Climax matchup 4 3/4 stars, and I gave their All In matchup 4 3/4 stars. So I think it's on par with their G1 Climax matchup. I think if you prefer one or the other, that's perfectly fine. And I will talk about it in panties, like Maggie said here. It's 4 3/4 panties, Maggie, as far as Omega Okada 5.
All right, I'm not gonna get into the panty talk here.
No. It would be
panties.
Yes, it was 4 3/4 panties.
All right. Well, what's the panty scale here? All right, so fine, 4 3/4 panties, but like, do granny panties count as more? Like, if I get 3 granny panties, they're bigger than regular panties. So does that mean it's a better match than a 4 3/4 panties one? What about thongs? That's a little. What if it's 10 thongs?
Well,
You know,
no,
what if they're just
that's where the 5+ stars comes from. Plus is
Okay.
for the panties. Is the size of the panties, you know?
What if it's like wet panties though? What if?
Well,
what
no,
if
that's the thing. That's the thing of how Maggie has put it. That's what she's referring to. These are wet panties. This is how many times you have to change your panties because you get too wet in excitement.
Okay.
The moisture.
All right.
Yeah.
I just feel like if we're gonna move to a panty scale, we've got to be very direct with the panty scale here. I don't need this Meltzer scale with the 5 stars and then it changes every other month of like, oh, but some stars might be 7, but now let me go back and rate these other. I don't want that.
This is why me and Jimmy had a long conversation. Like I was doing the Meltzer stuff of like 5 and 5.5, 5 and 3. I was like, nah, that's way too confusing. And Jimmy was just like, just put a plus at the end. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? That actually works. That actually works. And so I've only given like I'll give 1 extra star. I'll go 6 stars, but it has to be one of the greatest matches ever. And I've only given 4 matches ever 6 stars. It's Omega Okada 4, Austin versus Brett, WrestleMania 13 for anyone who doesn't understand. Bryan versus Osprey from Dynasty, and Osprey versus Omega from Wrestle Kingdom 17. Those are only 4 matches. I only have room for 1 more 6-star match in my lifetime until I die. That's the only other time I could give 6 stars. I gotta pick and choose. I gotta see the greatest match ever. The greatest match that I seen live, I wasn't able to give it 6 stars because I was like, I gotta save this. I plan to live for a very, very long time. I want to walk my daughter down the aisle one day. She's only 5. So I'm gonna live for a long, long time. So I only have 1 more space for a 6-star matchup. So I'm gonna save that for a while. But I gave even Bryan and Swerve 5+ stars. So there's 5, and if a match is even better than 5 stars, it's 5+, and that's the limit.
Okay, I respect your scale. I do. I like that you have a set criteria with your scale. That's why if we're going to switch to the panty scale, I want to make sure we have a set criteria.
I was trying to communicate with our audience. Maggie's in the audience, and Maggie, she's the GOAT. She's everybody that does a podcast with Maggie on True Hill Heat, they always just the next day tell me, oh my God, I love doing that show with Maggie. Maggie's so awesome. When can I do another show with Maggie? That's how good Maggie is. Maggie is like the wrestler that you have your best match with, and you always want to wrestle them again. That's Maggie, to wrestling podcasts.
Maggie's fantastic. You can watch her every week on this channel at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fridays with Rob Wilkins. It's called Coexisting. We love Maggie. I'm glad she's in the chat. I'm sorry we moved Spotlight, so she's rarely in the Spotlight chat now. I'm glad she's here for this show. I just want to make sure our panty scale is lined. All right. Anything else? SP3.
That was awesome. I think we touched on everything from Monday Night Raw, pretty much. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we didn't mention. I will be talking about the C-suite. Don't worry, guys. I know everybody's like, did SP3 watch LFG? He had a lot of wrestling to watch. I actually watched most of LFG right before we went on here. I have like 5 minutes left to finish LFG, but I knew we weren't going to talk about it on this show, so I'll be talking about it on Thursday. LFG, from what I saw, it was another good episode because my boy, sexy BJ Ray. I'm about to put in the request with Sports Illustrated. I need to talk to BJ Ray. And they come on here and talk about my conversation with BJ Ray. BJ Ray was a star once again. Sexy BJ Ray. Y'all talked about all the shows from this weekend, right? Yesterday, right?
Yeah, we covered everything.
All right. So my quick thoughts for all the shows that I saw this weekend. ROH Supercard of Honor. Why can't the weekly show be this good? NXT Great American Bash. This is the weekly show. Y'all just changed the name. All in Texas. Very long, very awesome. Probably the only time I watched a plus 5 hour pay-per-view and it never felt plus 5 hours, even though I did peep that this was going to go past 8 p.m. Eastern in the tag team title match. When the tag team title match is going on, I'm like, this show is definitely going past 8 p.m. Eastern. They lied to us. They lied. That was awesome. One of the best shows of the year. I think I would give the edge, though. I don't know about you. I would give the edge to Double or Nothing over All in Texas. I gave Double or Nothing 9.5 out of 10, and I gave All In 9 out of 10. I think Double or Nothing is the better top to bottom show because there was kind of I want to say weak matches, just good matches to start off the show. I think if you switch around the placement of matches, I think All In would have been my better show between the two. But I think that the match placement wasn't as pristine as it was for Double or Nothing. So I'll give Double or Nothing the edge for a show of the year from AEW perspective.
I'm terrible at ranking shows, so my recency bias wants to say All In. The fact that like the first half of that show was a little like I would say skippable, but not quite as memorable with everything. Like once you get to Dustin got a big pop on the win. The match was the crowd was out of it because we know what happened.
Oh.
Yeah. Once you get to the Swerve Ospreay Bucks match, like everything after that was really good, better than really good, and it was a strong start. But it was overall, a 6-hour main card. Yeah. So I can understand going Double or Nothing over All In.
Yeah, because I would say the first 3 matches, it's not on par with starting your show out with Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter, and you got Briscoe and Ricochet as your third match. Like, come on. Like, let's be real. Let's be real here. I agree with you. Everything from the Young Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay on is either good to match of the year candidate. Yeah. Swerve and Ospreay versus the Young Bucks is either number 2 or number 3 for the whole weekend, and the only reason it would be number 3 is because of Takeshita and Bandito putting on an all-timer ROH World Title matchup. But yeah. Then what was it next? Saturday night's main event. This didn't even need to be a show. This was a waste of time. Sunday was Evolution, best WWE PLE of the year, period, point blank. And I watched most of the GCW show. Stam Stackhouse versus KJ Orso. That's in the top 10. That's in the top 10 for the weekend. They showed the hell out, gave us a great finish to that matchup that puts over KJ Orso as one of the top heels in GCW. Sam Stackhouse, I not always liked a lot of the work that I've seen from him, but that was the best performance that I've seen from him as far as being a babyface in a matchup where he's the much larger of the two. Like, he tore it up. Great performance, bled buckets in that matchup. Great stuff, and I love the crowd. And Brody Lee Jr., he gonna be putting on some 5-star classics in like 5 years, man. That kid gets it. That kid gets it. Working the towns. He worked ROH Supercard of Honor. He was like, I want this match to be in the pre-show. He probably politicked. I want it to be in the pre-show because I gotta work the third match on GCW, and made it to his bookings. Great guy. Great guy. Great guy. And yeah, I think that was most of the shows from this weekend. I added in some ROH Supercard of Honor. Yeah, I said that already. Okay, cool.
Go check out our interview with Frat House. They talk about Brody Lee Jr. I ran the article yesterday about Preston Vance's comments on Brody Lee Jr. Did not get as much traction as Blake Christian saying he was going to be Axiom, which
I told you, I knew that was going to get traction with everybody.
got so much traction. I need a cut from all these engagement accounts. Honestly, what are we doing here? Give me some of that engagement money. I know it's only like 50 cents at this point, but I'll take it. You know what I mean? Kids need bubble gum.
Why not?
So
why not?
All right, SP3. Let them know where they can find you at.
Find me on the Twitter machine, whichever side it's on, at TrueHeelSP3. I will be live in about 40 minutes with Romeo to review last night's Monday Night Raw Unrated Raw review. We'll talk about that, and I will put Romeo on trial for trying to defend Saturday night's main event. He will be on trial for everyone. Yes, we're putting him on trial because he's a bad defense attorney. When you knowingly know your client has committed a crime against us as wrestling fans, and you defend it with no ill will, like, come on, man, you got to be better than this. So we're putting him on trial for his bad takes. So yeah, join us for that at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Rated Raw review. I'll be back here on In the Weeds on Thursday to talk about the fallout from AEW All in Texas on In the Weeds, and of course you got everything else I'm doing this week. Tomorrow I'll be live at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with J News and Sanal for our NJPW G1 Climax 35 preview. So Thursday we'll also be doing that for this show. We'll give you a preview of the G1 Climax because I can't rely on Joel Pearl to do it on Friday. And yes, join us for that. We got Slammiversary preview on Friday. I thought my streak was going to end one of these days, but then I remembered a whole bunch of stuff starts up on this weekend. So I might make 2 straight weeks of doing live streams on True Hill Heat. I'm tired, busy. Y'all.
You're
busy.
Man. Busy.
I'm busy.
Zeno asking, did you find out who deleted the original Giannis clip? I did confront Rob and Maggie.
You did. I saw that.
Yes.
I watched it.
Wilkins says he might have accidentally done it, which I believe could be true. Is he might have just accidentally hit something, didn't realize it. In the end, we've just decided to blame Kate because why not? So
also fair.
That's
shout outs to Kate who put in a workhorse effort. No. She did like 5 shows in 3 days. She did SmackDown post show and then did the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor post show. I was like, oh my God, you had to watch Jelly Roll and Great Wrestling at the same time? That's awful. Sounds like an awful time.
I give no shout out to Kate. I give
Jeremy
everything she's ever gotten.
No. You know what, Jeremy? You ain't nothing but a liar. I'ma catch you in the fire. I don't know the words to this song, but he's gonna wrestle. You ain't nothing but a liar.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
We'll be back tomorrow, everybody. Bye.